I told him that night when Big died, when Big got that we shouldn't go to this party. I told him that if we don't do something about these doors and do this, some people's gonna die at City College. It's a couple other incidents that we were in that I had told him prior to the stuff going down that something was gonna happen, and it happened.
I'll be sure, Heavy D, and Puffy. And Kim was the longest working employee because she was there from the very beginning. She was Andre's personal assistant. Kim is dead. Heavy D is dead. Andre Harrell is dead. The only two left are Puffy and Al almost died. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Heavy D was found dead, face down in the heart attack. Andre Harrell.
Diddy's arrest was not just another Hollywood scandal. It marked the beginning of a massive unraveling in the entertainment industry. What appeared to be just another lavish party turned out to be a gateway into a world of darkness, manipulation, and secrets that most people never imagined. At the center of this storm stands Jaguar Wright, a woman who has consistently refused to stay silent. Jaguar Wright began her career in the early 2000s as a neo-soul singer. She gained recognition through her collaborations with The Roots and other prominent artists. Her voice was powerful, but her spirit was even stronger. While many artists chose to remain quiet about the corruption within the industry, Jaguar chose to speak up. She called out exploitation, shady power dynamics, and the people who pulled the strings behind the scenes. Her connection with Diddy stems from her years in the music scene, where she claims to have witnessed firsthand the shady operations behind closed doors. But it didn't stop there. When Jaguar started naming names of celebrities, moguls, and insiders linked to Diddy, people noticed a disturbing pattern. Many of those who were close to exposing the truth ended up mysteriously silenced, some even dead.
So, no, I probably won't be watching the movie just because I know whose money the proceeds are going to, and him royally, and inventing Diddy. For that, letting that out of control whack ass and sodomite just run rampant all over this goddamn that. Like Andre was different. Andre had class. Andre had some integrity. But no, you go to get the little Chucky doll. That I'm sorry, I'm a little upset about it. Cause I'll be sure just came out of his coma, and I've been talking to Al, and we've been texting back and forth, and I'm just glad that he's alive to text.
Oh, wow. Definitely.
Yeah. But when you think about Kim, I was thinking to myself the other day, Uptown Records started with 5 people. Andre Harrell, I'll Be Sure, Heavy D, and Puffy. And Kim was the longest working employee because she was there from the very beginning. She was Andre's personal assistant. Kim is dead. Heavy D is dead. Andre Harrell is dead. The only two left are Puffy and Al almost died. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Heavy D was found dead, face down in the heart attack. Andre Harrell, heart attack. Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. And then right after that, Al had a meeting, and I was gonna meet up with him because we were in Vegas, and then the next thing you know, You want to know what they all had in common, though? The survivors and the late of Uptown Records, they were all writing tell-all books. Andre was writing a book right before he died. Heavy D was working on a book before he died. Kim Porter was working on a book before she died. And Al B. Sure was working on the documentary of his life. And then he goes into a coma. Has Puffy ever been in a coma? Has anything happened to him? He must be the luckiest because it seems like everybody that worked at Uptown Records from the very beginning is gone. Just him. I guess Al disappointed you. You know, I speak for a reason. When you see this motherfucking that you love, that you like, you know, it's too many coincidences.
Too many.
While the mystery behind the deaths of those once connected to Diddy still lingers, one question continues to haunt everyone. Why have so many of Diddy's closest friends gone silent since his arrest? One name that stands out in particular is Jay-Z. For years, he was known to be one of Diddy's closest allies, but ever since the allegations began surfacing and the truth started to unravel, Jay-Z has remained eerily quiet. What becomes even more bizarre is what you begin to uncover when you dig deeper. The version of Jay-Z that the public sees, polished, respected, and untouchable, might not be the full story. There are unsettling patterns that connect Jay-Z's sudden rise to fame with key moments in Diddy's timeline. Even the tragic death of Aaliyah is now being revisited in a new light, as certain timelines and relationships begin to overlap in uncomfortable ways. Jaguar Wright has been one of the few voices calling this out. She has spoken about Jay-Z just as much as she has about Diddy. In fact, when she appeared on Piers Morgan's show and referred to Jay-Z and Beyonce as monsters in the industry, the video was taken down shortly after. That only raises more questions. What are they hiding? And who is making sure these stories stay buried?
The first time I ever saw Jay-Z or even heard him spit a rhyme was at an MC battle, street battle in New York. But he didn't show up as Jay-Z. He didn't show up as the hottest rapper on the street. He showed up as was with Big L.
Rest
For
in
those
peace.
of you.
Rest in peace, Big L.
Rest in peace, Big L.
One of the
That was the
dopest. One of the
sensei.
dopest. Yes.
Big L was who put Jay-Z on.
Without question.
And then Big L died, and then the next thing you know, Jay-Z. And then, you know, he starts clienteling with Tupac and clienteling with Biggie and doing songs with Biggie and building a working, you know, camaraderie with Honeycombs and AKA Diddy. And
Why do you give him the honeycombs? Why do you give him honeycombs?
because he smacks so sweet. That might. Anyway, so yeah, then, you know, and then Reasonable Doubt was happening, and then Dame's in the picture, and Dame's building Rockefeller, and everybody's talking about Jay-Z. And don't get me wrong, there is nobody who loves Reasonable Doubt more than me.
At the time of.
Nobody. No, still.
Yes. To this day.
Still. Listen to me. I don't give a feel about you. For me to have bad feelings about someone and not acknowledge art and its greatness or at its finest is hating. Maybe I don't you, but them shoes is hot, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be real. So I will never listening to Watch the Throne earlier this week, and that raging me, cause I'm like, y'all motherfucker for this album, and was Kanye, and then all of y'all made all of this money on this motherfucker, and now all of a sudden, who, him? Like,
Yeah.
Like he was good enough when you let him slump. Just Blaze's real. He was.
That's a whole issue in itself.
It was worth putting Just Blaze on the line for because Just Blaze was Rockefeller production until Kanye.
Yeah.
Who's Just Blaze producing for now?
That I don't know. Who is? Yeah, I'm about to say that I don't know. And he was the movement.
Where is Just Blaze?
Yeah.
I mean, he was making beats. You got title. You're a billionaire. Where the Blaze?
That's the question.
Why is he's not at least an executive at Rock Nation? He's not at least an executive at Tidal?
At least.
Like I said, Biggie died, Tupac died. And then there was the fight between who was the top rapper now, Nas and Jay-Z. And then the next thing you know, Nas has a nervous breakdown and he's taken out of the game and it's all Jay-Z.
It's all Jay-Z.
It's all Jay-Z. And he was working with R. Kelly and they were making so many records together. You know, they made all of those records together. They both they shared so much in common. You know? And then there was a falling out. And that's like it never happened. Whoever talks about best of the both worlds, best of both worlds. Nobody talks about that.
Nobody talks about
Nobody talks about that project.
Swept that smooth under the rug.
When Jaguar Wright began exposing the truth about Jay-Z, she was not alone for long. One of Jay-Z's former best friends, DeHaven, quickly came forward to defend her claims. DeHaven, who once shared a deep bond with Jay-Z, openly stated that people rarely question Jay-Z's credibility. According to him, that is exactly why he continues to thrive in the industry without scrutiny. DeHaven's words hit hard because they highlight a painful truth. The higher someone climbs in power, the more untouchable they become. People fear speaking out, not because they do not see the red flags, but because they are terrified of what might happen if they do. DeHaven suggested that Jay-Z's image has been carefully crafted and protected for years, and anyone who dares to challenge it is either silenced.
You know what I'm saying? That's what they say, like, yo, you know, why do you associate with Jaguar? Jaguar, shout out to Jaguar, man. That's my girl. You understand what I'm saying? Jaguar put me in the, Jaguar got me here. When most ain't with me. You know what I'm saying? Jaguar got me here. People like, yo, man, you know, what you think about what she be saying? Well, some of the stuff Jaguar speaks, when she say something, it's not happening. Then when it happens, they like, oh, Jaguar, this and that, who's to say that she's calling her a liar about what she might know and what she not? I can't call her no liar. You ain't question Jay credibility about what he just said about me. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
This is the same y'all gonna pick and choose?
So how hard is it to, because we're talking about one of the most popular rappers, if not the most popular rapper, weaponizing their fan base against you. How hard is it to fight that battle?
Y'all taking a chance.
We definitely take
Only difference is this, I'm not in here with no allege. I'm not talking about nothing alleged here. Everything is my life, real life. You understand? So we ain't on no alleged, so we good here. You understand? I'll be around guys that if you do something, they gonna check you on it. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, man, up, yo. This and that and the third, and that's just what it is. You're gonna live with it, and guess what? We're gonna be boys tomorrow. They're around a bunch of people that just say, yeah, that's funny, this, that, and the third, but you can't clown them. It's almost like, just like with Jaguar. So you mean to tell me nobody can talk about them, but But Jay could get on the record and say any kind of thing he want to say about anybody. You know what I'm saying? But as soon as somebody say something about dumb, you want to cease and desist, this, that, and the third, this and that. Alleged, so what? You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody can bully at all. You know what I'm saying? They ain't no bigger than us. As far as I'm concerned, they really look at us like we ain't even breathing the same air. We forgotten. Marcy, we take care of our own now. Nobody talk about him. You know what I'm saying? Tourists come to Marcy all day long just to look at our building. Is that where you used to live? This should be amazing.
So I just gotta ask this question before we get out of here. So Jaguar kind of alluded to Jay-Z may be next. What is your thoughts when you hear the world, like they done took down Puff, they done took down all these other powerful black people. Jay-Z's like the lone standing powerful black man.
If you do the track wrestling on them, Jay is them people. If you do the history on most of the people that got in trouble in the industry, big trouble, who they went to for help?
That's true.
When Lil Wayne was in trouble, who'd he go to? When Meek Mills was in trouble, who'd he go to? Meek Mills said it himself. Desiree helped me. You understand? So how could he be up next? You know what I'm saying? He is them people. They go to him when they got problems. And what they gonna say if he don't come up in nothing? What they gonna say? Told you, he ain't got nothing to do with that. They still gonna cover it up anyway. But I don't think they coming after him at all. I don't think they got, like I said, I think he is them. He has a relationship with them. You talking about a woman that had a relationship with the feds for 20-something years, right? When you working for them, you got an agent, your agent that's in charge of you. You think she don't have no relationships with over the years with all these agents that became retired and connected and this and that and the third till they just know she got power. That's power over there. You know what I'm saying? Who you wanting one on your side? You got them on your side? You know what I'm saying? If something happened with him, it's gonna be about a money situation. It ain't gonna be nothing that's gonna hurt. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't see them going after him. You know what I'm saying?
As we dig deeper into the web of connections surrounding Diddy, one name that continues to surface is Jennifer Lopez.
As far as Will Smith is concerned, until he does right by all of those children that were harmed and corrupted while in his care, children that grew up to be men, boys like Bashir Gray, August Alsina, your own son. Like, your own son. Do people forget about that voice clip that I played from Brother Belial?
Hey.
Has anybody seen Belial?
Come on.
I asked him, didn't I ask for him last year?
Come on.
Where's Belial? Is he missing with Cuba? Have they all moved to Bali with Russell Simmons and Kevin Liles?
I would always say it is interesting when you speak on, Jaden Smith and you see the hug with Justin
Bieber.
Justin Bieber. Yeah. And then for Bashir, you see him all of a sudden fighting over Sydney Starr with Eddie Winslow. It does question what happens in the entertainment industry that makes someone go into just being very close with men on men contact. It's interesting, I'll say the least.
You want to know the thing that bothers me most about Bashir Gray? I actually think he's doing all of this so they'll take him back in the club. And they're not. They're gonna keep gaslighting you and playing with you, promising you one thing or another. Not now, not now. Just next year's gonna be your time. You need to get yourself out there. You need to.
J-Lo, who once dated Diddy during the early stages of her career, has remained noticeably untouched in all the chaos surrounding him. While many of her ex-boyfriends and former partners have openly criticized her, Diddy has always spoken about her with admiration. Even now, after everything that has come out, he has never said a bad word about her and has even hinted that he would get back with her if given the chance. Gene Deal, one of Diddy's former bodyguards, once revealed that Diddy never raised his voice at Jennifer. According to Gene, Diddy always treated J-Lo differently, with more respect and care than anyone else around him. This behavior has raised questions. Was she truly unaware of what was happening behind the scenes, or did she choose not to speak out because she was comfortable in that environment? Some believe Jennifer never turned against Diddy because she benefited from being close to him and possibly even enjoyed the lifestyle that came with it. Only adds to the curiosity.
Jennifer Lopez, when she's finally held accountable for the part she played in the harm that was put on Natanya Rubin's life.
Do you think they'll bring up charges on Jennifer Lopez?
They better. She committed perjury. And the attorney that was representing the defense side of that suborned perjury. Last time I checked, there's no statute of limitation on perjury. We can start there. Let's bring Jenny to the cell block. She's been to every other block.
Sometimes they'll open up a case to bring light on other cases. Do you feel the Shine, the club night with him and Jennifer Lopez will come back to light?
Oh, absolutely, it has to.
J-Lo is just, I don't know. Every man she's been with has said the same thing, except for Diddy. Diddy's the only one that said she was a great girlfriend and how he wish he hadn't messed it up.
Now,
how is that the only man in her life that had regrets about their relationship and everybody else ran for the hills? Like, it's not nobody noticing that. That everybody else that's left her, oh, she was too this, she was this, she was that. But Diddy said she was perfect.
Maybe she was meant for the medal.
What happens if you're only perfect for the devil?
God damn, God.
What does that make you?
Damn.
I seen somewhere that, he treated J-Lo different than he treated Cassie and Kim.
Well, I know that I never seen him with the play fight like he used to do with Kim, because that's how it would start off. He would start off with the play fight, hitting her with pillows and all like that. I guess that love tap, I don't know, I wasn't into that. I've never been into that with women. So he would start off like that, then it would always probably go up to something, a higher level, or where she wanted him to stop playing with her like that because he may have gotten a little too rough for her. But I never seen him do Ms. Lopez like that. And when J-Lo was around, I used to always just call her Ms. Lopez. He would do the flirtation and like have a lot of girls around and then try to play her like that. But, she would check that. And I put in my book one particular night where she was in the we was in the studio and a lot of girls was up there, and J-Lo got, Miss Lopez got mad, and she went home and she put on some jeans and sneakers and put her hair back into a little bun and a ponytail, and she came back to the studio, and Puff had a new song for her because she was heated, and he got rid of all those girls that was in the studio. So he never tried to, straight up, talk to her crazy or anything around people. Never. I never even heard him raise his voice to her.
Okay. Totally different. Totally different.
Totally different.
It is not just Jaguar Wright or Gene Deal who have come forward with stories about the disturbing nature of Diddy's parties. A young woman named Allie Carter has also spoken out, and her story adds an entirely new level of horror to the narrative. Allie claims that she was forcefully involved in Diddy's parties as a child, pulled into an environment no child should ever be in. Her testimony is chilling, not just because of what happened to her, but because of who she says was there. Allie has openly shared the names of celebrities she claims to have met during these bizarre and disturbing events, often referred to as freak-offs. Her accounts align with the whispers and warnings that have circulated for years. But hearing it from someone who was directly involved makes it all feel terrifyingly real.
Ron Jeremy, Denzel Washington, Beyonce Knowles, Ellen DeGeneres, Whoopi Goldberg, Lady Gaga, Chrissy Teigen, John Legend, Joan Rivers, Rob Saget. Do you want me to keep going? Ask me. Everybody wonder why my smile is so deep. Everybody wonder why my eyes sparkle. Everybody always asks me, why you smiling when you dance? Because you don't understand the live through. It's worth it to smile. And I'm still smiling, and I'm gonna continue to smile. And majority of y'all who continue to ask me and gonna tell me that I'm pointing fingers to kiss my natural black ass and miss me with that Bye! And when it comes out, don't come running back. I shouldn't have to get this nitty gritty for people to wake fuck up. I shouldn't have to say something like that for you to be like, oh, probably telling the truth. It is pathetic that people gotta go here. It's pathetic that it's gonna take somebody to say it was me for somebody to understand. I'm gonna stop yelling though.
Long before the headlines and lawsuits, she predicted this downfall. She spoke about the freak parties, the manipulation, the exploitation, and the silence surrounding it all. At the time, many dismissed her claims. Some called her bitter. Others said she was reaching. But now, with every new development in the case, her words echo louder. Jaguar always said that the truth would eventually come out, no matter how hard they tried to bury it. She spoke fearlessly about the celebrities involved, the victim's silence, and the systems that protected Diddy for so long. Now that the world is finally catching up, people are beginning to realize that she was never lying. She was ahead of the curve, and everything she predicted was unfolding exactly the way she said it would.
You know, unfortunate baby mama. It's funny because I think I also remember talking about Daphne with y'all before, and I expressed that maybe the reason why Curtis had a problem was because he didn't realize she was a Diddy doo-wop bop before him.
Yep, you said that.
And maybe she might have brought some things to him that he didn't like. I'm sorry. How many different testimonies did we hear of all of the different VD that was passed between Diddy and his so-called parties that only happened with him and his little weirdo girlfriends or whatever? How many? I mean, Cassie is literally being sued by a right now for transmission of these things.
What are your thoughts on Clayton Howard?
I think he's a snitch. And I think somebody paid him to do everything that he's doing right now. Because I'm going to tell you something. And let's just be very clear. You know, they keep trying to paint all of this weirdo stuff without literally putting the sodomite title on the diddler. But no straight man allows that much beefcake all up in his face and wants stuff rubbed all over him. And that's just, it's not possible. It's not real. And male I mean, I would know. I dated a few when I was younger, when I was in the life. You know, I used to think that, you know, me and my girlfriends, we all dated male s.a'd dancers at one time. You know, sponsoring bachelor parties, dominatrix works, phone
yada, yada, yada. You tend to sometimes date in your field. And, for a while there, you feel a little special. He doesn't, he everything he does with everyone else, it's for money, but he's just with you. He's with you, right? And there's no money exchange, so that makes it special. Not at all. Not at all.
Hold on, Jack. Doesn't it make sense though?
No, it really doesn't make sense, especially when you see your so-called straight boyfriend now doing gay parties and saying that's only for money.
Wow.
And letting men go down on him for extra, but it's only for money.
Allegedly.
Okay.
His attorney told the world basically, like, yes, Diddy is a swinger. He can't just go out into a swinging party. He may have to hire people to come into his world to do those swingish things.
A swingers party with as many different people as he had at those parties. And understand this, these sessions that he's talking about swinging, there were multiple men. It wasn't just one-on-one action. And I don't know why they're all lying about it. Like, they're all lying through their caps. And anybody who doesn't want to see that, well, then that's just on them. But I'm going to tell you something right now. If he really wanted to sue Cassie because he was upset about a baby deletion and all the diseases that she gave him and all of the terrible things that she did to him, why did he have to wait for her to sue Diddy?
Well, I think he waited for the testimony. Cassie opened that door.
No, if he was so, he said he had always intended to go after her. He had planned on coming after her, and it was Tyrone Blackburn that stopped him.
I mean, $30 million changes a lot.
$30 million changes a lot. Come on now. You got VD and all of that, but you had to wait for her to get some money in order for you to want to come forward? That doesn't make any sense, especially when you're a money-grubbing little hoe like him. And he is a money-grubbing little hoe. He's enjoying his press tour, talking about how he might not be the best looking, but he was the best in bed. How would she know as high as she was?
He said they had an 8-year run, like 8 years?
Yeah, and in those 8 years, he didn't mind getting burned and coming back. Like, let's think about that. 8 years? So the VD didn't happen until at the end of the 8 years? No, I truly doubt that.
Maybe he had feelings for her.
Feelings? Feelings. I mean, erections definitely, but feelings? I think people are getting real, just like numb in the brain to what all of this is that's going on.
Now that the Diddy trial is finally in motion, many expected the truth to come pouring out. But according to Jaguar Wright, something still feels off. She believes Diddy is using his money and power to play the system, and it is showing. Crucial pieces of information have mysteriously gone missing, and the narrative being presented in court feels carefully controlled. Jaguar has pointed out that no one has mentioned the disturbing details involving baby oil, which was a recurring theme in many of the allegations surrounding his freak parties. Many witnesses who were expected to speak have remained silent, and the courtroom has yet to hear anything about the underage individuals who were allegedly present at these gatherings.
I wish I could have been more surprised. But from the second that I did Pierce Morgan right after Diddy got arrested, I said some things. And everything happened just like I said.
It's interesting.
But I said some things last year on the couch. And I think a lot of people keep forgetting about what I say. I think people are so busy trying to disprove the reality of the things that I say in me that they tend to miss the things that I've actually said. I said, where do you go when the industry screws you over? Where do you go? Who do you go to? Y'all ask, why don't people come forward? Why don't people? I'm like, who do you go to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is screwing you. And the boss's boss don't care. You could go to the authorities, but they're all bought and paid for. And even if you get lucky enough to find a special prosecutor, somebody can just come along and have that person reassigned. Who do you go to? That's what I said, didn't I? Right on this couch.
That is. So, and we're gonna touch on all that because this is gonna be a slow.
Touch on it real quick and just get past it, because there's so many things I'm sure we need to discuss. Let's just have a little Q&A.
Let's go.
Was Cassie only Diddy's girlfriend, or did she start off as an employee?
I honestly don't know the answer to that.
She started off as an employee.
It's the way
She
her.
was supposed to have been going over to Columbia Records with Ryan Leslie. And then somehow that whole thing turned into her getting signed to Diddy on a 10-album deal. If anybody bothers to remember, she made it very clear he had been at her since she was like 18, 19 years old. It didn't become so-called official until her 21st birthday, and she was already signed. Matter of fact, if I'm correct, I believe that's the night that Britney Spears was there at that party as well, and they said that she was seen left with Diddy, half out of her gourd. And Diddy was joking about what he had done with her. But I guess, we want to skip over all of that. So she started out as an employee. All of the beatings, because there were more than the beatings that we saw on that tape. Which, by the way, I also sat here on this couch and said, he was beating that girl. He was great girl. He put the boots to that girl and dared her to say anything. And you said, why would he do that? Because I said, because he thinks he's God. Now, we all saw that tape come out on my birthday, May 17th, 2024. And even though that was the first time I had seen that tape, it sounds like I described exactly what he was doing to that girl on that tape without me seeing it. How could that be possible? How could I be that right? How could I guess that good?
How did you know, Jack?
Once again, everyone knew. Everyone knew. Just like the witness who came forward, who was too afraid when the grand jury came forward and they wanted her to testify. And she decided she was going to fall back, hoping that the government had enough from all of the raids, because they should have been able to make the case stick with everything that we know that they found during those raids. They had more than enough evidence. Funny how none of it made it to court. Just a bunch of weirdo tapes of Cassie and that Jane girl and 50 Cent's very, unfortunate baby mama.
So what do you think? How many of these celebrities will finally be exposed and held accountable? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like this video, hit that subscribe button so that you never miss out on any new videos. Until then, fam, keep it real.